What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm building something spectacular today because I'm doing a 10-minute build challenge. Now, I'm doing a 10-minute build challenge because at the minute I'm infuriated with the building system in Fallout for the fact that it's a little bit broken at the minute when it comes to things like half walls or stairs. So I thought, you know what, instead of spending like a day trying to build something, let's actually try and challenge myself and go for 10 minutes. And I've actually got some rules for this, and I want to try and turn this into something actually feasible, I guess you could say, that people all over YouTube will do, because it's actually a lot of fun. And I was bloody surprised how fun it actually is. So there are some rules for the challenge, which I have right here. So there are four rules, but only really 3 of them apply. So the first one is that you're only allowed 3, and I'm trying to say this without getting tongue twisted, 3 floor platforms. So you're only allowed 3 floors, and that does not mean first floor, second floor, third floor. It means you're only allowed 3 of these floor panels, which basically means you can have a building in a straight line or in an L shape. Or, like I decided to do, cheat a little bit, and it's not really cheating because I'm still using the 3 floor panels. There we go. But I build a little fake garden out the back, which you're actually seeing me build right now, because I had a stroke of genius and realised that you could get the platform pretty damn close to a set of stairs and make it look like it actually belongs. And then you just stick in that fake faux... I actually can't remember what the grass is made out of, but you just stick that in, and it looks like a little bit of a garden. So that's the first rule, that you're only allowed 3 of the floor platforms in the entire build. It doesn't matter if you build one, put one down and then go a mile away, put another one down, and go a mile away and put another one down and just build 3 little things. That's okay. What you're not allowed to do is have any more, and that also includes, just in case any of you try to be little sneaky bastards, that also includes any other floors whatsoever. By the way, the stairs that you see out the front don't count, because that's a defense platform and not a floor platform, okay? So before you be like, you've got 4, actually. No, I've got 3, and then I've got a set of stairs. So, bite me if you try and get me on that one. But yeah, you can use as many stairs as you want, or whatever roof you want, or whatever you want, but you're not allowed to build more than 3 floor platforms. Now, I will let you off on an exception if you want to attempt to build, I'm sorry, there's my voice going again, like a veranda. So where my garden is, if I wanted to build like a veranda that went over the top of it and give it a bit of roof coverage, that I will allow, because the only way to build them at the minute is by setting in some stairs, putting on a floor, putting on a roof, doing all that kind of stuff. If you can do it and delete the floor, then delete the floor. But if you can't, I'll let you leave it in. But that's the first rule. You're only allowed 3 platforms on the floor. The second one is the house or the build itself can only be 1 story. So no second story, no third story, no 20th story, whatever. It can only be 1, because you really have to now think more along the lines of the aesthetic instead of having like a wacky second floor or whatever. So you've really got to think of it. And you're only allowed 10 minutes to build it. Now, I'm showing you the entire 10 minutes because I'm not gonna do any. I've seen people do challenge videos before and then throw in editing, and I'm like, right, well, I can't verify that it's 10 minutes. I only have your word to go on it. Sorry, there's my voice going again. So I thought, show the entire 10 minutes of the build. I can't be called out on cheating. And there is a fourth rule, really, but it's not a rule. It's kind of a helpful rule, I guess, and that is you're only allowed 5 minutes of planning time. Now, as you heard, I have my booklet in my hand. On it, I have a floor pattern design. I've got 3 of them. So I've got the L shape that you see me build, which is 2 floors, and then the garden out back. My second floor design was an actual L, where the third floor would out forwards towards the platform stairs from defense, kind of giving me that little kind of hook around. And my third floor pattern was just a straight line of floors, and that just looks ugly. So you do have a little bit of thinking to do, which is where that 5 minutes of planning comes in. So, the 5 minutes of planning could be prototyping the build or just jotting down, a couple of little designs or anything like I did. Excuse me, I need to burp again. That's the whole fucking point of not drinking fizzy pop, but can't help myself. But yeah, so the entire thing behind this build is you really have to think. Now, I would have done a lot better in this build if I hadn't been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because in, we're on 5:30 now, in a minute 30, a minute 30, yeah, in a minute 30 when we reached the 7-minute mark, I looked down at my phone where my timer was and went, oh dear God, I have 3 minutes left, why am I watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Luckily, Buffy the Vampire Slayer ended at that point, leaving me with 3 minutes left, but I was like, I got distracted in doing the building, so, so I was like, oh crap. However, there are some little leeways that I will give you because when I went back and looked at my build, I realized, oh yeah, no, like some of it could be tweaked a little bit. Now, the tweaks are only allowed in this fashion. If you have stuck a picture on a wall and you realize, I want to keep the picture frame there, but I want a different picture, then I will allow you to replace it. You can't move it, but you can replace it. If you put in a light, like the lights I put in, which are these rack lights, if you put it in and it's not centered, you can center it. Okay, I'm not going to be like, oh no, you cannot move it an inch or rotate it. No, you're allowed to, as long as it stays in the same place, you can just finagle it into position and get it lined up straight, because I understand having a wonky light is really irritating sometimes. So go ahead, you can fix that up a little bit. If you have a chair that's clipping into a wall, like you saw with me, like you've either seen with my little couch, my blue couch, which I love so very, very much. If it's clipping into the window or the wall a little bit, I will allow you to move it forward a little bit to the point where it's not clipping, but that is all I will allow. Basically, the only thing I'm going to allow you to do is if you put something down and it's clipping, or you want to replace the design with a better version, so like with pictures or the succulents, if I wanted to change the type of succulent that was down, I can remove it because they don't have a replace function, but it has to go back in the same spot. So that is the only real thing that I allow. Now, if you have an exterior light like that, and you want to put it on the opposite side of the door, I will allow, because it's still in the same spot. Technically, it's still on the outside of the house. I will not let you take it from the back of the house to the front of the house. Nothing like that. If it's just swapping to the opposite side of the door, that's perfectly fine. Changing floor patterns, that is another thing that's fine. So if you put down, like I do, I change these wooden floors to the red shag carpet. If you want to change, if say you go for the linoleum floor and you think, do you know what, I want the wooden floor, like the laminated wooden floor instead, and you want to change it to that, go ahead. But apart from that, no changing, designs on me, no flipping whatever. The roof you put on has to stay, so really think about that. The walls you put down have to stay, so really think about that. Locations of things, they have to stay. So where I put the bed originally, you saw I moved it to this position where it is now. After the 10 minutes are up, I cannot move it. I cannot move it back to the position it came from. Everything has to stay. But if you want to change the bed itself, go ahead. So like if I wanted to change that lamp, I could change the lamp. If I wanted to change the size of the bookshelf that was here to the smaller one, this one, if I want to change it to that one, I can. But when it goes down, it has to stay in the position, and the table you replace it with, if you're replacing a table, has to be from the same options, the same table section. So if you put down that really long coffee table and you're like, do you know what, I want the smaller version, it has to be from that same coffee table design tree, so you can only go left or right, you can't go up or down on the selection thing. But yeah, apart from that, no moving things, no changing things, no trying to sneak stuff past. And if you can do it in 10 minutes without having to edit, and the only edits you do are like showing it off at the end with cinematic camera angles like I do in a second, then there you go. Those are the rules. That's the only thing you can do. There we are. That's the build, and I like it. I'm gonna live in it. I love it. Now you see, I've got a water purifier there. I had the water purifier down at the beginning of the video. If you noticed, some of you probably didn't, but it was up the hill because I was already producing water. But yeah, that's the build. So thanks for coming along, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you will join me in building this stuff. And as always, you know the drill. Like, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, stay awesome.